Hey everyone, welcome to Homes for Beginners, where I show you how to do repairs around the house yourself. In this video I'll be showing you how to clean a carburetor from an engine by boiling it. This is by far my most favorite method with cleaning, as it makes any dirt or oily residue clean off easily, gets into all those tight places, safe on rubbers or plastics, and you don't have to deal with any harsh chemicals. This can be used on anything from yard equipment, tractors, motorcycles, snowmobiles, ATVs, boat motors, cars, etc. Just make sure your pot is large enough to hold whatever size that carburetor may be. Here I'm using a small engine and 2 lawn tractors as an example. Removal processes will vary. First is working with the small engine, which hasn't ran in years. It's always a good idea to take photos before disassembly, especially if you're new to this. For this I'm removing the gas tank first. Next is removing the 2 screws holding on the carburetor to the engine, and after that is disconnecting any linkage. Remove any brackets or jets too. There are generic settings to get an engine running, and this can sometimes vary between models. You can also turn in the jet until it stops and count the turns so you can set up the jet to the current adjustment. Next is moving on to the John Deere lawn tractor with a Kohler engine. First is removing the cap on the air filter, then the air filter. Remove the air box from the carburetor. The same bolts that hold this on also hold the carburetor in place. Remove the fuel line clamp and then the fuel line. Make sure the fuel is also turned off. Pull the carburetor off and then disconnect the linkage. Again, take photos if needed so you know exactly how everything goes back together. Disassemble the carburetor. Remove any brackets, jets, bowl, float, needle, etc. Work on a solid surface so you don't lose any components. This one isn't too bad. It's the cleanest out of the 3 I have. No cleaner has been applied to any of the carburetors, they're just going straight into the pot as they are. For this I'm using a propane outdoor fish fryer I purchased online. From what I found, a lot of the hot plates don't last too long and they may not heat up as fast as compared to a propane burner. The fish fryer also comes with a strainer, which makes the components easy to put in and out of the pot while it's boiling. The water is heated up to 200 degrees Fahrenheit or about 93 degrees Celsius at the very most. This is close to operating temperature of an air-cooled engine. Don't go any higher as you may damage the components. In the water is biodegradable degreaser I used for detailing and some weaker dish soap. I have seen some heavy-duty dish soaps available at the store, so this may be fine on its own. Let it soak for about 20 to 30 minutes and then agitate with a toothbrush. You can see the water is quite dirty. The carburetor can be moved around from time to time. There is also a plastic component on the top, which is still good. Moving on to the next carburetor using the same water as previously. You may need to add water if needed, so keep an eye on the level. The fish fryer also comes with a thermometer so I can keep an eye on the temperature so it doesn't get too hot. And then is adding the John Deere carburetor. I even threw in the base of the air box, which was greasy as well, and I wanted to see how it held up. Using a toothbrush, any dirt basically falls off. Be extremely careful with boiling water. Wear gloves as the parts will still be hot. Cleaning up the Briggs & Stratton carburetor with a toothbrush. I tried to keep the plastic pickup above the water just to be safe. Any ports can be cleaned up using torch cleaning tips, but be extremely careful as they do work somewhat as a file and can open up those holes causing damage, or another option is also using fishing line. Finally, the John Deere carburetor, agitating any dirt with a toothbrush as needed. This will help loosen up any stuck gaskets or sticking components too. Just make sure you are using a cleaner which won't cause any corrosion on any of the components. Use compressed air on the ports or hard to reach places. It'll remove any water and dislodge any leftover dirt. As you can see, the Briggs & Stratton carburetor has cleaned up very well. It was even filled with mud inside. All that has fell out. Do the same for the John Deere carburetor. This method won't remove discoloration on the aluminum. There are specific cleaners for that called aluminum brightener. Even on the plastic component, it cleaned up well. The discoloration is from before. The lawn tractor doesn't actually have a hood, so it was exposed to the elements. After that is assembly and reversive removal. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to give it a like and drop a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more home DIY videos. Thank you for watching.